morning. As you can tell, it's raining pretty good. We've had rain and wind for the last couple of days. We did have one nice day. That was at the beginning of the week, but all week it's been raining and windy. But today there's no wind, so that's a nice treat. This week, poor Peachy, she's had to be on leash again all week. The wolves are back. I don't know if they're back or if they never left. So I was talking to my neighbors there on the island next to us, and they've been in this area caretaking for 10 plus years, so they know the area really well. Apparently there's always been wolves on this island. There's wolves that live on this island full time. I had no idea. But for some reason, all of a sudden, they're very interested in this property. The owner came for a couple of days. Him and his friend, they went prawning, so they ended up doing that for 2 days. So they weren't actually really here too much. They were out prawning pretty much most of the day. They ended up leaving me some prawns, which was really nice. I had a nice prawn dinner last night. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So one of the days when the owners were out getting prawns, Peach and I were outside, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Peach's hackles just went straight up, and I had her off leash, and she bolted. Like, she was gone, and I just panicked, and I just called for her twice, and she didn't come, which is not like her. She comes right away. So on the third time, I dug deep and found the meanest, strongest voice I could come up with, and I told her to come, and she came right away. But her ears were back, her hackles were up, and when she came over to me, she, leaned on my legs, but her whole body was like curled over, and I knew something was wrong, or there was something around. So I grabbed her collar and I started walking with her, trying to pull her. At first she just would not budge, and she actually growled at me because she didn't want me to pull her. But I just was like, we gotta get out of here. So I almost had to drag her. But for the first few minutes it was a bit challenging, but she just gave in and let me pull her along. So we get to the cabin, we're inside, not 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes later, both of us, we hear the loudest wolf howl. Like, it was so loud, I was looking out the window, like all my windows were closed. I was looking out the windows to see if it was out front of the cabin. But I looked and looked and I couldn't see it, but it howled twice, and it was so loud and so close, and Peach went berserk. Like, she just went crazy. Like, for half an hour she was just growling and barking and just really tense. So anyways, we didn't hear it again. And then the day after the owner left, I went up to the shop and I found wolf scat, like wolf poop. A big pile of it. I'll put a picture up here. Here. Close your eyes if you don't want to see wolf poop, but I'll put it up here. There is large bone fragments in this poo. There's hair, like stiff bristle hair that looks like deer hair. Just, it's full of it. So I'm 100% positive it's wolf poo. It is so rare that a wolf will come into a human encampment. Like, it just rarely happens. And I've been here, this is my third winter here, and a wolf has I've never even heard a wolf howl. I've never even heard a wolf even come near the property or seen wolf poo. Nothing. Well, there was once last summer, I think, on this patio, on this porch. I'm on the cabin one porch. The barbecue, I guess the guests who were here, I think the night before, they had barbecued some kind of meat and it had dripped, which barbecues tend to do, onto the porch. And that morning, you know, I saw them off, and then I came up to the porch and there were canine tracks on the porch. This is before I got Peach, or there was any other dog on the property. Was Buttercup still here? Yeah, it wouldn't matter, because she had, towards the end of her life, she didn't want to go outside at all. So yeah, anyway, so I'm very 100% positive it wasn't any dog on this property. Very positive it was a wolf. So yeah, so there's been wolves on the property, but that one was attracted to some food drippings on the porch. So yeah, I can understand why that one came into the property. But for a wolf to come onto the encampment where there's humans, they don't do it. They do it only if there's garbage around, which we have none, or open food, which we have none. So my theory is that it's after Peach, because right now from January to March it's the mating season for wolf. Peach is spayed, but according to Google, wolves can still sense a female through her scent, her urine, just, you know, her markings all around the property. And so they'd still be interested in mating with a female dog in mating season. So I just have a very strong feeling that that's why either a wolf or a couple of wolves are hanging around. So it's made me a little bit worried. I'm not worried for myself. The wolves, they don't bother humans. I mean, if I had Peach on a leash and we were walking around, there's a good chance it would still attack Peach, because they're not scared of humans. They just want nothing to do with them. Yeah, so Peach right now is inside our cabin. Her freedom is going to be severely limited, probably for the rest of March. I don't know if the wolves know when the end of March is, but yeah, I sure hope, if that's the reason, if my theory is correct, then I sure hope mating season ends soon. This week there wasn't a whole lot of work to do outside because of this torrential rain and winds we've been having. Last couple of days the winds got up to 36 knots. So it was blowing, I think, 20 knots with a gust of 36. So it was pretty bad. At the beginning of the week, however, I was able to get the wood that I bucked up from the shoreline last week burned in the bonfire. I did let Peach hang out with me by the bonfire. I kept a very close eye on her, off leash, because I know wolves are very afraid of fire. I mean, if you build a fire, they won't come anywhere near you. So yeah, I was able to get that done last week. anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to light the fire in this cabin and get it nice and toasty warm. Then I'm going to get to spring cleaning it. I've got to do like a thorough deep clean after the winter of just sitting there and having no one in it. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do today. So, but first thing I have to do right now is I have to go get some firewood and some kindling in order to get that fire lit.